Coming at you live from Brooklyn and Jersey, it's Real Talk, Rates, and Repeat with your hosts Gary and Queenie from Cliffco Mortgage. Real stories, real advice, no fluff. Let's go.
Hey guys, welcome back to Real Talk, Rates, and Repeat with your host. I'm Gary Lai, my co-host Queenie Duong, and Merry Christmas. We're here with a surprise Christmas episode.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays. I love Christmas. Christmas is literally my favorite holiday since I was a kid, growing up. Till now, always. Even, you know how people like say in Manhattan, they hate being in Manhattan during the Christmas time because it's so busy and it's so crowded and people are bumping into everyone. I love it. I purposely go to the city during the holidays just to like be in the crowd, look at the lights and be freezing. Love it.
Wow.
I see the judgment in your eyes. And for those of you who are actually listening to this on Spotify or through Apple, that's not on YouTube, Gary is he's got, a Christmas hat on, which is pretty basic, but then his glasses. He's got Mrs. and Mr. Claus. No, Santa. Frosty.
Yeah. Frosty
glasses on. So for those of you who do not tune in on YouTube, I think this is one of the episodes, aside from like the turkey one for Thanksgiving, you should be tuning in for just to see this outfit because, again, Gary wins with his holiday headgear or whatever.
Or they could just watch.
Good job, Gary.
Teasers, surprise teasers, right? But yeah. So no, okay. So Christmas, obviously I feel like it's every kid's holidays and every kid's favorite holidays. One, I think it's because of the presents, right?
Obviously, the only reason why I think what kid likes Christmas, not because of the presents and the gifts.
I don't know. I mean, that's all they care about. All they care about is just whatever toys they get and all that stuff. But I think just the whole aura mystique of Christmas is just so fun, right? Like
the folklore of it, right?
Yeah, 100%. Like just the songs, the holiday songs, the holiday traditions, lights, like trying to find houses that are like go overboard, like super.
Oh, I actually live right near that area, that neighborhood where people would come during the few weeks leading up to Christmas into the Christmas week in groups to see these lights.
Okay.
They actually hire professional lighting companies, decoration companies to put up these extravagant, glamorous lights and decorations for Christmas every year. And it's pretty amazing. I mean, it's annoying for me because I live around here and it's just crowded. Yeah. There's always traffic because of that. But if you take the time to walk it and to enjoy it for that, those 2 hours, it's so worth it. It's so beautiful. But you said tradition, right, Gary? So what are some holiday or Christmas traditions that you did as a child with your family before, you having your own family now with your own children?
Yeah. I think a very big one for us was we didn't really celebrate Christmas morning, right? Everybody sort of gathered during Christmas Eve. So everybody gathered at somebody's house. It was usually my cousin's house. And they would feed us dinner and all that stuff. We'd bring presents for everybody. And then, everybody would open up their presents Christmas Eve night and then go home. And then obviously the day of Christmas is, that's when you open up presents that I had for myself and whoever I was living with, my aunt and my uncle who I was living with at that time. So that's what we would do.
Was there one present that you like remember in your mind as a kid that you opened? You're like, I love this.
Honestly, I can't really remember any present that I was just like, I must have, I need it, because I feel like whatever you wanted, it was just so like that.
Well, not what you wanted, but like a present that you remember opening. You know how sometimes you have flashbacks back to like when you were a kid, right? Is there anything that you remember at this specific moment from when you were like the younger baby Gary?
I honestly, I was just happy with anything that wasn't socks. or like some sort of
Or
like
clothes, right?
right from like family. You're like, oh great, or like a tie. I'm just like, oh yay.
A
Like getting a
tie? What kind of like I'm talking
it
about
wasn't even
kid
like
when you were a
fancy,
kid.
like yeah, they were never like fancy ties, but like like getting a tie when you're like 20 years old, you're just like, what the hell is this? Like, am I ever gonna use?
But let's go back even more. Do you remember anything from when you were like 10?
Man, when I was 10, it was just a lot of like old school games that I liked, right?
Uh,
Yeah. Like obviously when you're young, I was always jealous because everybody had like the place no, not the PlayStations. Everybody had the Nintendos and they got like the Super Nintendos and things like that. So when I finally got like a video game system, I was just like, whatever I got, whatever they gave me, like a video game, something, I'd be so ecstatic about. Or like, what else? What else would they get me? Oh, and then I remember, so there was a gaming system that I wanted. I couldn't have it. So then they got me something else, and I opened it. I'm like, what the heck is this? And I think it was like the Taiwanese or Chinese version of like Super Nintendo. It was just yeah. It was like
that sounds pretty cool.
it was pretty
Did it,
cool.
I mean, did it work?
It did work. It did work. It was just
Okay.
the connections and all that stuff. So it was pretty fun. I played with it. Man, I gotta look. I'm gonna look for it on Amazon and see if they have it there. But yeah, it was a pretty cool system, and it was able to play like different other games. And the cool thing about that was, obviously, I don't think it was like super super legit, right? Where it wasn't a big company, but like I don't remember using any cartridges, and there was just so many games that were like loaded on there. I was like, oh, this is so
Oh, wow.
yeah,
That's really ahead of its time.
yeah,
Because now they have a lot of these consoles where the game could be loaded into the system,
yeah.
whether
They're
it's like a
really
handheld console
yeah.
or an actual, PlayStation or whatever. But from when you were a child, that's pretty ahead of its time.
It was.
It's
I
pretty
was just.
cool.
By the way, she just called me old. She was like, when you were a child. Thank you.
I mean, are you trying to tell the audience that you're
So
like in your 20s? Like, let's be real.
like a subtle jab. It's like, oh, it was very impressive when you were little, but um,
Okay, fine. When we were little, does that help? I'm putting myself in that category
there you go.
too.
There you go. But what were traditions that you guys did?
As a child, we didn't really celebrate Christmas either. I think there was only a handful of years where we had a Christmas tree up, and but of course, the exchanging of gifts, that was always the thing, and we always had that. As a matter of fact, I don't know if this is a little too self-serving, but like maybe this is why I love Christmas so much. So my birthday is actually the day after Christmas. So for me, I'm like, oh, it's like my time of the year. I feel like the holidays belong to me. Until I got older and I realized I actually get shafted
Yeah,
because of that.
yeah,
So, growing up, I felt like the holidays was mine. And then I realized, wait, it actually works to my disadvantage. But anyhow, it was pretty much the same as you. We didn't really celebrate it at home, but I would go to like my aunt's house and she would have like the extravagant Christmas like dinner, and then her presents were always the best. I remember growing up getting like a uh Fisher Price, I think, or whatever that brand was called, and it was like an oven, a baking oven. And
easy
I'm
to
sure any,
bake.
yeah, like any 80s kid will know exactly what I'm talking about because this was like the shit, and it actually baked real
Yeah,
edible desserts, even though honestly, I know vividly I baked a dessert and I did not eat it because it was so questionable. But it was the act of, right? It was so fun. But anyway, that was like one of those gifts for me that really stood out. I was like, wow, this is so cool. But yeah, just toys in general. I got like a Super Nintendo
yeah.
one
Well,
year, and that was huge for me.
so you were the kid I was jealous of. You're walking around with a Super
Yeah.
Nintendo. I had like the bootleg Super Nintendo.
Well, yes, and but you had the foreign one, and then I had the actual like the real one. But you know what, speaking of consoles real quick, do you remember the blowing of like the video game
Yeah,
cartridge?
yeah.
Like to make it
Everybody-
work? Because I also had a Nintendo before that, like the old school gray box
Yeah,
Nintendo, and I had that for the longest time. I think my brother still has it. It's like an antique at this point. But blowing into like the video game
Hmm.
cartridge was the thing, and there's a whole science to it.
Yeah, we
But
used to
yeah,
do that with all the way up until I think then they started going like CDs with like the Sega Dreamcast, and then we stopped doing that. But yeah, I
I
remember
stopped after that. I stopped after Super Nintendo.
it's like
Yeah.
and you're like, I need to get all the dust out. Like, that makes it
Is that what it was? It's the dust that keeps it from like
supposedly,
registering. Oh my God.
supposedly.
So funny.
That was just our super kid mind being like, yeah, this totally work if I just blow on
And like the harder you blow into, you think it's like the longer it's gonna last in the console.
it.
Oh my God.
So yeah,
Okay, so that's how we grew up. But what do you do for your family now? Now that you have kids of your own family, how has your tradition changed? Has
um,
it changed?
100%. Yeah, definitely a lot more. So just like you, I don't think at my house, we never had the tree up. Same thing.
Mm.
My parents are super Asian parents who are just like, you know what? It just doesn't make sense. We're gonna put the tree up and then we're gonna take it right down. Like that's just a waste of time. So all right,
Yeah.
we never really had a tree at home. But now that we have, our own family, and a place to actually put the tree. So like for those of you looking on YouTube, you can see the tree right behind me along with stockings. Oh, that's another thing too. We never had stockings.
Yeah, we have all that, the stockings on the other side. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So we never had stockings growing up, but I felt like that was very important, right? Because to have stockings, and then it's very symbolic. It's all it is just symbolic, right? Like just to see them hanging there and things like that, it makes the kids feel good. They love decorating the tree, sometimes way too much, right? Like I've had to scale it back. Um, so what happens is after Thanksgiving, the Black Friday, we put up the tree. That's our tradition right now. So we put up the tree, um, and they decorate it. The first few years, like you couldn't even tell it was a tree. You just thought it was a wall of ornaments because that's what they did. My daughter she makes things. The first year took forever. It's just because the first year took forever taking down, just because the amount of stuff they kept putting on the tree as time went by. I was just like, I can't do it. And then we put up like the stockings with everybody has one, and I did that after my son was born because I wanted to start that tradition. Something new I started this year is the elf on the shelf.
I was just about to ask you that. Did you dive into Elf on the Shelf? Because I wanted to this year, and every parent I know that's done it all the other years are like, do not do it. It's
Why?
so much work. It's so much work. Because you're supposed to change what the elf is doing every day.
It's not that hard. I don't think it's that hard. So
I don't know. Every parent that I've spoken to is just like, don't do it. There's so much work. But then also those are the parents that go like above and beyond. Like they're like setting up new environments for the elf
oh no,
for
no.
the next day. Like it's like a whole project. Apparently that's a lot of, it's really popular.
Yeah,
So what are you doing? You're just like putting it in different
we're just
places?
putting it in different places, and the way that we explained it to. Okay, so for those of the people that don't have kids and just like, well, yeah, I know who Elf on the Shelf is, but what's the whole folklore behind it, right? So the whole folklore behind it is that Santa is obviously, he's got a bunch of helpers. The Elf on the Shelf is a helper. The elf watches you and makes sure that you are on your best behavior, and
Oh, I didn't know that.
supposedly reports it back to Santa every night and comes back to your house. And just that's why he's at a different place.
That actually is very interesting and a very cute tradition. Now I see the allure of it
Yeah.
and why so many parents do that for their kids. And you're supposed to start when? The first day of Christmas? I mean, first day of December?
Yep. So we started the first day of December, and then just move it every single thing, and then the first one is we put it right up in the living room so that everybody can sees it. We're there. We're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what I explained to my daughter and my son. It's just like, hey, that's the elf. I forgot what they named it. I think they named it Buddy after the greatest Christmas movie ever, Elf. I'm pretty sure we named it Buddy. But yeah, we explained that, Buddy is Santa's helper and that he's here to look over everybody to make sure that you're behaving, you're on your best behavior, you're on
So
the,
cute.
and they'll be back to report. So now we move it. My son, like, he loves to look for it. My daughter is a little bit nervous because she's like, I don't understand how it's freaking moving every night, right?
That is so
It's
cute. Okay, so
normal.
you move it at night so they see it in the morning?
Yeah. So after they go to bed, either I'll move it or my wife will move it. So
Very cute. Okay, I'm gonna start that for next year then. I think
yeah,
I think my son would really enjoy that.
yeah. That's a tradition that we just started here. I have not yet been that person that has installed or put up Christmas lights outside my house.
Yeah, me neither.
I just can't because the amount of time that goes into it and just
Yeah.
like I can't do that. It's just and I don't even want to hire somebody because it's just I just feel like the way that my house is and the size of the house is just like that's a lot of light bulbs that we would want, right? And I was just like, I don't want to do that. So I
And I
haven't.
also feel like Christmas decorating for your home is it's a family thing.
Mhm.
You know, like if you hire someone to do it, then it becomes more like optics versus tradition.
Mhm.
So yeah, the same way here, like I don't have decorations outside, but I definitely made it a point every year after having my son to have the Christmas tree up. So here's $1 million question.
Yeah.
How long do you keep this tree up for?
Okay. Yeah. So we will keep it and I will take it down right around New Year's.
Wow. So
Yeah, I
you are
don't.
diligent.
I'm pretty diligent. I don't because there's really no reason for it to stay up in my mind.
I've honestly had my Christmas tree up in the past all the way through till like July before.
I think
There was 1 year where that happened.
this is actually I think our third tree. Our third tree. The first tree that we have, my friend Dave gave me his tree. Pre-lit, very like pre-lit meaning like I had to
The
like
lights are built in,
the lights
right?
are built in, but it
Yeah.
wasn't built in through the stem. Like you had to like find each plug and plug it in and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
So then like just trying to take apart the tree, finding which outlet it goes to, that became too cumbersome. So we're just like, you know what, let's find a different tree. So then I got a different tree. It was a lot smaller, but we would have to put up the lights and things like that. But then once we got it, because I bought it online, I'm not one of those that I can go to, and I don't know whether you guys have that in Brooklyn, but I can't go to a parking lot and just buy a natural tree. Like I'm
Yeah. No, we have that here.
yeah.
Yeah, we have like a Christmas tree vendor that sets up every year, not far from our house. But we've never gotten, I think maybe 1 year we've gotten a live tree, but it's actually really messy. I mean,
Yeah.
albeit it smells great. It really brings that like Christmas holiday spirit into the house, but it's very messy. And also we have a dog.
Yeah.
So, this hasn't happened, but the last thing I want to happen, and I imagine happening, is yes, lift of a leg by the foot of the tree, and that would just ruin my holiday. So, we don't have that. We have a tree that we put down, like we take down and we put up every year. But this year, I decided to torture my son a little bit, where I actually put the presents under the tree like 2 weeks before Christmas. So he's been doing the countdown and just like sitting next to his presents every day, waiting for Christmas to come, which I think is hilarious. But
Yeah.
yeah.
My kids also do that, but yeah, going back. So like the second tree that we had was a very smaller tree. It was about only 7 feet. But we bought it online. And then when it came here and we put down all of the branches, quote unquote branches, we're like, man, it looks like the worst tree ever. Cause it was like so bare and
Like a Charlie Brown tree.
so we're sitting there. My wife is like got some garland. She's like putting it. She's like, oh, it looks a little bit fuller, right? So we left it up. And that same year, the day after Christmas, all the Christmas trees were on sale at Home Depot. So we got this tree, which is pre-lit, and it's like it stems, like so, like you don't have to like find it. You just plug it in, and that's it.
Yeah.
So
It
then
looks good.
now we've gotten this one, and like this one's a lot easier. The other one we still have somewhere. we were gonna put up 2 trees, like I said, the smaller tree and then this one, but we're just like, just one tree is more than one tree.
Yeah, no, it looks great.
Yeah, outside the house, what we used to do is we just used to put up candy canes and that's it. That was our extent of outside. I didn't like anything for you guys. Oh, and a wreath.
Not outside.
Wreath.
Oh, actually, then yes. I mean, I would put a wreath on the door. I guess that's like the extent of my outside decoration, but which is kind of crazy because I started off this whole episode saying how much I love Christmas and all I do is like a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
But it's more
I thought
of
you were gonna say that you went like overboard, like you're like I had the brightest house ever, or like something.
No. I think it was more for my own self. Like I loved walking around during Christmas. I loved enjoying other people's decorations and enjoying the cheer of the holiday. And it wasn't until I had my son that I started contributing to some of that cheer at home. But this year, I'm definitely I want to pick up the whole Elf on the Shelf thing for next year. But yeah, this year, we have our decorations up. Everyone's anticipating it. My son's, just happy to be opening presents. That's all he wanted, right? Like as a kid, like they just want their gifts. So
you said that you love Christmas. You love going into the city. You love like being around the crowds. Have you brought your son to do anything in the city that's like quintessential New York Christmas must do? Like, have you brought him to Rockefeller? Have you seen the tree?
of course.
You have? Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. The whole like seeing the tree thing. I mean, my husband proposed to me at Rockefeller Center during Christmas time.
What?
So it was, it's a huge, anyone who knows me knows how much I love that holiday. So yes, we've definitely brought our son there to see the tree. What I haven't done yet, which I need to do, I probably will do this year, before he gets too old, is the whole like picture with Santa Claus.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing.
At the mall. Yeah, like I've actually have not, I mean, don't forget he was also sort of like a COVID baby, right? So the first like 3 years we didn't do anything outside. But we need to do that this year before it's like, he gets too old and it's, novelty's not there anymore. So that's something on my list to do.
Yeah, I just realized you got shafted again. I was like, because you got engaged, Christmas, and your birthday.
Yes.
Sorry.
That is correct. This episode's turning a corner that I didn't want it to turn. But yeah, thank you for pointing that out, Gary. I actually didn't realize that.
I'm sorry. I'm just like, man, this is awesome. You just have to spend 1 week to celebrate all your holidays. That's amazing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
I'm easy like that.
yeah. Actually, so a new tradition, something else that we just started this year too, was my wife wanted to set up a holiday photo shoot. So we did that.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
So am I gonna get okay?
Well, you can, but I don't have your address. I forgot to actually text you for your address. Don't say it here. Everybody's gonna know your address. That's gonna be kind of weird if you said it. But yeah, that's something else that we did was do a family card. That was new. I still have not brought my kids to the city yet. Just because I told you I don't like crowds, and like it's the worst crowds are during the holiday.
It really is. If you have to have a certain affinity to the holiday to be like, oh yes, I want to be pushed around during Christmas. I feel like half the crowd that's in the crowd doesn't want to be there. So it may not be your thing.
So actually also going back to that too is just how Christmas actually has changed from when when I was growing up, working in college, till now, right? Because during college I worked for a cell phone, like a authorized reseller for cell phones, right? So I used to work in the malls. And the mall hours, they used to just be horrible, right? Because normal mall hours are like 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. start, and they close at like 8 o'clock, right? But then Christmas season, it's like it gets earlier after each week, and then it closes later. So it's like normal hours are like 10 to 8. And then the week before Christmas is like, I don't know, like let's just say like 9.
8 to 10.
Yeah, like that. And then the week of Christmas is like 7 a.m. And I'm just like, I remember I used to hate it during the holiday season. And also because like getting there, trying to park or trying to leave, it was just you couldn't park where you used to park, right? You have to park like a mile away. It was just because the malls were so crowded. Now it's like I go to the mall and I normally hate like I don't like going to the mall at all, right? But the malls are I'm not gonna say dead, but they're just not as
When was the
crowded.
last time you were at a mall? Recently?
Yeah, recently.
And it wasn't as crowded?
Wasn't as crowded. I mean,
Interesting.
there was so I had to go I to where did I go? Oh, I had to go pick up a suit at the mall. Um because it got shipped there and then I had to pick it up and then come back. But like I think I went like during like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It was like a week ago. And normally I'm just like, man, I'm gonna have to like park like so far. I didn't park too far, but I was just like, this was not what I was expecting. You know?
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay. I actually have not been to the mall yet this year. Well, I know I for the holidays. The last time I was at the mall was probably a few weeks ago, right before Thanksgiving, and it was like decent.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
normal. And
I,
not
I,
much
I- yeah, I think
holiday cheer yet.
I think honestly with the emergence of more online shopping, I think that has definitely contributed to that.
You know what? That is so true. Because I'm like, I haven't been to the mall, but I already got all the gifts for everyone, like all the kids, right? Like my nieces, my friends' kids, stuff like that. But it was all through Amazon.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I was like, oh, I haven't been to the mall yet. And I'm like, do I need to go to the mall? No.
There was one year that my friends were like, "Oh, do you want to go line up for Black Friday?" And I was like, "And that stuff, like nobody ever does anymore either."
I haven't done that since college.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like nobody does that anymore,
Yeah.
at least from, at
Yeah.
least from what I know. So yeah, there's been a lot of things that's changed, right, from when I was growing up too. Like, and also before I was married, before I had kids, also like Christmas Eve was a time where like me and all my friends would just gather and we go out clubbing. You know, now it's just like nobody does anything.
You're one of those people that I didn't like, which is why I couldn't celebrate my birthday because, okay, so Christmas Day, of course, everyone spends with their family. And
Mhm.
then afterwards when was the clubbing? Was it Christmas Eve or
Christmas,
Christmas Eve, right?
yeah.
Yeah, everyone just always had something to do. So like I never really had like a big birthday celebration.
Yeah, it was always like the two big clubbing things that I remember would be Thanksgiving, the day before Thanksgiving, because everybody's home for the holiday, and then also Christmas because everybody came back home to celebrate Christmas.
Right.
So those are the two biggest sort of days where all my friends would just gather, and then we'd go clubbing, we'd go in the city, we'd go somewhere, and then celebrate with family after. That's obviously the times where I'm not going to dinner with my family, or we'd go after. So, and going out to the city, going clubbing at like 11:30, 12 o'clock at night when you're 20 something years old is completely different than trying to go out when you're plus 40. You're like 9:30, man, it's getting late.
Um, I'm judging you right now because I don't remember the last time, like, what partying after your 40s? Like, really?
I mean, well,
You're old, Gary.
every single time you go to an Aria event, a national event, you're going partying after.
I haven't.
Oh,
I'm that old lady that taps out. I don't go to the after party. Anyway, this is not very holiday cheery right now.
it's not cheery, but it reminds me of the holidays. You know? But
Well,
anyway,
anyway,
those are my traditions. Then no longer clubbing. Although every once in a while we will have our own dance party at home. So we'll shut off the lights and we have like a strobe that my wife bought.
that's
Um,
so cute.
yeah, and we'll play and we'll sit there and we'll have a dance party with me, my kids, and my family. So we'll do that.
That's so cute. I love that. Okay. So you definitely have more of a tradition than I do, but I'm still I'm trying to piece things together right now. I'm trying to figure out what's going to work with my family aside from just the Christmas tree. Um,
I think it's all trial and error. Whatever you think or whatever you've always wanted to do and you wanted to start. But I think it's also right now. It's like that's when I'm able to at least put these core memories within my daughter and my son. right? So that way they can be like, oh, and whatever they want to do when they get a family of their own.
I love it. Well, I hope everyone who is listening to the episode on Christmas Day, thank you for spending a little bit of your Christmas season with us. And, we really do wish you a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and of course, a Happy New Year. We have a huge revamp of our podcast coming up for the new year. So I'm very excited for that. But in the meantime, let's just kind of soak in all this holiday joy for the next week or so. Get refreshed and ready for the new year, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Enjoy the time with family, friends, business partners, anybody. And we hope to see you in the new year when we will have an exciting new format. Bye. Take care.
Bye.